going on? I'm in the shop today, getting sort of a late start, working on this Subaru Outback, yanking the engine on this because I have to do a clutch and a timing belt, a couple other little things, but thought I'd let you guys hang out with me while I work on this garbage. So here's a tip if you're ever working on a Subaru to remove the crank pulley, because I always see on forums and stuff people asking how to remove the crankshaft pulley, and people say to wedge a screwdriver in the flywheel or whatever. This is the best way by far, and it's super easy. You just get a chain wrench and lock it over the crank pulley, the rear grooves, with an old belt over it to protect the crank pulley, and then you push it up against this alternator mount and just break it loose with a breaker bar. Works every time, and then you can flip it around and the power steering pump is off, but with the power steering pump back on, you can use this bracket to torque it back down. So there you go, if you ever work on Subarus. I could have sworn I had a flywheel that was going to work for this car, and that's right here. It's a little dirty because I put the pressure plate on it and dropped all the old clutch material on it, but this thing's freshly resurfaced, and I can't figure out what kind of car it goes to. I've tried to put it on like 4 different Subarus and it won't fit on any of them, so who knows. I bought it off eBay, but I found a shop that'll do it for $38.67, so I'm gonna go head out and get the flywheel that came out of the car resurfaced. So I'm heading to the machine shop and then to the parts store for a couple of things. The timing kit did not come with the water pump, which is redundant. I mean, not redundant, pointless. Why would you replace a timing belt on a Subaru without doing the water pump? And I need some grease for the new toolbox, which I don't think I've even showed you guys. So that's exciting. Got a giant new toolbox, so I'm not stuck in that little Husky anymore. I don't even know where this machine shop is. I just dropped that flywheel off and it was like super weird, like I don't know, like I just walked in there and they just like wanted me to drop it there and not leave any information whatsoever as to who the hell's flywheel it was. I'm like, do you want my number or something? He's like, yeah, I guess we'll take down your number. And like, I don't know, that's just really weird. Sometimes it blows my mind how people can operate businesses and stay afloat. I mean, it was like super clean and nice in there, but they were just really weird. I don't know, maybe they're not used to having people in there that aren't in there all the time. It's the only explanation I can think of. So I just picked up the flywheel, and I was just saying how I don't know how these companies stay afloat because they suck at talking to people, but when they get your shit to you super fast and for cheap, that's how they stay afloat. Makes sense. So look at that gorgeous thing. I wanted to show you guys this car. Just saw it when I was driving by. It's a GC coupe. Let's see if it'll focus. Oh yeah, look at those slicks. I don't know if that's actually what they're running on it, but that is the most ridiculous amount of poke I've ever seen in my life. For those of you that are going to give me crap for using an impact to put those on and not torquing them correctly, it's not very strong. I torque them afterwards. So underneath the timing cover, which I just took off, you find a timing belt with 3 idlers that love to blow up and bend all your valves, 1 tensioner that likes to bounce around and sound like rod knock, and a water pump. So we're replacing all of those. So what happened there was this cam is under tension when it's on the correct timing mark. So it basically the valve springs made it flip over to the side, so I just have to take a wrench and put it on there and move it back to the spot. You have to line up this line with the crack in the timing cover. This side is not under tension, so it'll wiggle back and forth, and the crank is a crank, so it's not really gonna move unless you try. So the water pump's off. Here's a pro tip for you guys if you're ever doing this job on a Subaru. A lot of these aftermarket water pumps are gonna come with these paper composite gaskets. And it's just a paper gasket, and you know, if the gasket surface is perfectly lapped, it'll probably seal dry. Otherwise you gotta use RTV, which is a pain in the ass to clean up next time you do it. So go to Subaru, pick up the OEM gaskets, $4 or $5 or whatever. It's beaded steel, no cleanup in the future, no worries about it not sealing. Never had one of these not seal before. So this is the way to go, and it's cheap. It's so nice doing these out of the car. It doesn't warrant taking the engine out to do a timing belt because it's totally doable in the car. But my God, is it a lot easier when you're sitting right in front of it and don't have a whole car in the way. So once you're putting the timing belt on, you gotta line up all the marks, and the belt has painted lines on it so that it's easy to line up. Put every idler on there tight, except leave this one loose and leave the one that sits here off. And then you sort of just gotta finagle it until all the teeth are, or the belt is all in the right position, which is not too hard to do when it's out of the car. So for some reason these timing belts like to be a pain in the ass and make me a liar, so in order to get it on I actually ended up having to put this guard on to keep the belt on place on the crank sprocket. Leave this one loose like I said, but then completely remove this one because no consistency here, folks. I don't understand, but no big deal. It's on there now. Now I can tighten everything down. One thing that has been consistent through every Subaru timing belt I've ever done is this pulley. The one that has a little flange on it. I don't know if you can see that through the plastic. But the one with the little flange on the backside always goes on last. And it's on this big long section. Never never done one where that wasn't the case, so you can bet on that. And I like to just leave them a little bit snug for now, and then I'll come back and torque them when it's time. And that is a completed timing belt. Before I go and put the covers on and everything, do 2 full rotations of the crankshaft. The marks won't line up again. I don't know how many rotations you'd have to do to make the marks line up again, but the marks on the belt, that is, but the marks on the pulleys will line up. So 2 full rotations, and that is good, and then you can torque everything down, throw the covers back on it, and drive the car. I sort of got in the zone working on this car, so I sort of quit filming for a couple of hours, but it is all back together now and filled up with fluid. So let's see if it starts up. No reason why it shouldn't, but you know, there's always that little possibility. Awesome. Starts up great. That's what I like to see. No lights, no nothing. Sounds good. Sweet. Let's go see if the clutch works. So, clutch worked great. Car drove great. Job well done. Let's get out of here. I'm tired. So, that's where I'm going to end it off. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Make sure you like it if you like this video. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. And leave a comment down in the comment section for me. I have more 914 videos coming soon, and I can actually promise that because I've already started filming it. So stay tuned for that. I know that that's the good stuff. Yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching. Have a good one. Peace.